Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
My colleagues, none of this today that you are bringing makes sense. Your inconsistencies, your hypocrisy, your sycophancy, unless you are in a cult. And guys, I'm starting to think you're in a cult. That is your right, but it's not your responsibility. I promise you that's not what your constituents would want. So if you believe in states' rights, except when a jury in that state convicts your nominee for president, you might be in a cult. If you claim you back the blue but want to defund the police when the police go to your nominee's house to retrieve national security secrets, you might be in a cult. If you're supporting a guy whose felony convictions prevent him from getting a security clearance, you might be in a cult. And if the guy you're supporting for president has felony convictions that prevent him from going to Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Cambodia, Canada, Chile, China, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Egypt, Ethiopia, Hong Kong,
my motion
India,
takes precedent.
Indonesia, Iran, Ireland, Israel, Japan, Kenya, Macau, Malaysia, Mexico, Morocco, Nepal, New Zealand, Peru, Philippines, Singapore, South Africa, South Korea, Taiwan, Tanzania, Tunisia, Turkey, Ukraine, United Arab Emirates, and the UK,
the gentleman from Kentucky is recognized for 5 minutes. I'm asking it to...
But that's why we're here.
Okay. Yeah, he pointed out convicted felons cannot hold security clearances, serve in the military, visit many countries. Trump would also not be allowed to meet with other convicted felons, such as Roger Stone or Steve Bannon. He said, but this is the person you all chose to hang out with this morning, delaying the original start time of our hearing, because rather than getting work done for people who need us to work, you chose a felon over helping families. We're going to flip that. We're going to choose families over felons. I love how some of these alpha liberals are going at this, don't you?
Eric Swalwell wants to be president of the United States one day, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's a person who will get my vote.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Me too. And when they go low, we go Jasmine Crockett. That was Newt Gingrich talking about how uneducated the vice president of the United States is.
And uneducatable.
And she has a weird laugh.
Yeah.
Not, but Newt Gingrich has a perfect laugh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me. What do you have to do as a black person? This woman was the attorney general.
Mm-hmm. Of the second largest Justice Department in the United States.
Thank you.
A senator.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. There is no pleasing certain white men.
It is. It's just when I think there is no level of disrespect, right? That they will not lower themselves to. And you know what? I had to Google. I'm like, oh, because she went to Howard, and in case you haven't noticed, that's a black college. Is that what he means? Like, you trying to delve through the layers of racism sometimes, right?
I know. Were you, Francis? Because when I heard that, I just knew whoever it was talking about Marjorie.
Me too.
Bad built butch body. That's what I knew. Bad built butch body, and I was like, oh no, what?
Yeah. We were just talking earlier to Glenn Kirshner about, I'm so glad that Fani Willis spoke out. I don't know if you heard her comments, but, she just was talking about the disrespect she is getting, as a black woman, being over-sexualized and the stupid schoolboy jokes calling her Fanny. Rudy Giuliani just called her a hoe this week. It is, there just is no low that's too low, right?
No, there isn't. And you know what? And meanwhile, we have to sit here and hear about how tender Donald Trump's emotions are, that he can't no one can talk about salacious things that he's done, right? But meanwhile, we can go and talk about all the salacious things that Hunter Biden has done. Right?
And Rudy Giuliani's talking to a Christian group, and he called Fani Willis a whore.
That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, this is who these people are.
Yeah.
Does anybody have Newt Gingrich's address? I can be there in like 15. But we
were just...
put it online. I don't want him doxxed. I just want to say hi.
And we were all talking all morning about him saying Milwaukee's a horrible city, which, first of all, is politically, of course, unbelievable that that's where the RNC is. But we see you. It's because they have a black mayor. It's only cities with black mayors that he talks horrible crime. When of course crime is down there like everywhere else under Joe Biden, right?
Yeah, what I find fascinating is the strategy of holding your convention in a city that you've just insulted.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand how that is a good strategy, because if I were the good people of Milwaukee, that would encourage me to protest it and to disrupt their proceedings.
Yep. Yeah. And on top of that, what I really hope and pray is that was the cattle prod to get everybody, every black, every other person in Milwaukee out to vote this November.
Yeah. Yeah. In
because
a swing
that's what
state.
these people think of you.
Yeah, we were saying it's just some like weird psychological thought experiment. Like, what does he have to do? What exactly does he have to call everyone's mother in America a whore? Like, what would be? Is there anything that he can do or say or be convicted
that's how
of?
cults work.
What's that?
That's how cults work.
Yeah.
They are absolutely in a cult. They are brainwashed, and not some of them. The washing was very easy. It was like a dribble. It didn't. They were a far jump from this. But the reality is, there is nothing he can do. He was right when he said, "I could shoot someone." He could shoot a baby.
Yeah.
In the middle of the street, and these people would be like, "It didn't happen," or "It was a setup," or what.
It was the
now he's saying,
fault.
"Thank you." Now he's saying that he might lose the debate on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yes. By the way, Angela, I love you in your car. I feel like Jerry Seinfeld's going to pop up in the back and get you some coffee. But
yeah,
you canceled him. He's another rich white man you canceled, though. So
right.
Yeah,
I'm having a slight misunderstanding with the police department. He's out of the way.
Okay, the internet wasn't working in your house, so that's why. Just so people. Okay.
On the run or crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I might be crazy, but I'm not on the run.
I mean, we were saying, I know it's so numbing, but that he said, what did he say yesterday? Brittany Griner should be back in prison in Russia.
And simultaneously, he can get the reporter.
Yeah, the white guy out.
Doesn't
Right.
make any sense.
Yeah, we'll give you the black lesbian back. It's just, okay.
Crazies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Should we even start on the sharks and the batteries and the? Did you hear the shark battery?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Please go. Please tell people in case they haven't heard it.
Who's America's early warning system?
Black ladies.
She tried to warn him. It's the shark's house.
Yeah.
Don't go in the shark's house.
End up on the plate.
Right. Gonna get 8. Okay. I don't know what we do about the numbness to the
garbage truck is here. Just chill.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. Okay. Want to let you know that's what you hear.
But no, I just like I was saying, it is so. The racism is so. Is there a number past 11? It's from Spinal Tap. We'll ask Rob
12
Reiner next time. But just who was the podcast? Was it Joe Rogan's podcast?
Yeah.
Where they're just
they said Biden wasn't real.
No, the whole the blacks are like Trump now because he's a felon.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Is that stuff that people just say now to go, oh, yes, all people are obviously felons? I'm sorry. Your thoughts? I'm going to lay down.
It's just more opportunities to be to disrespect a group that these people don't have any respect for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, it's like, I don't expect Joe Rogan to respect me. He ain't never respected me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay? He ain't never had no love for me. So, or black folk. So, yeah, whatever he thinks, whatever idea comes off the bottom of his shoe or out the belly button lint out of his belly button, that's what he thinks of black people.
And
that's his ideas.
And then they
can't
tried
find
to
his belly button.
Then they tried to spin it by like, black people know what it's like to be, victim of the system. It's like, really? If Donald Trump were black, he would have been under the prison 11 billion years ago. Spare me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. We just talked about this on the Final Word yesterday. if he were black, if he were anybody else in this system, when he sat down, he wouldn't have been able to sit down with his probation officer on a Zoom, okay? He didn't have to pee in a cup.
Thank you.
He didn't have to, he didn't.
He still has a gun. He still has a gun. And so this is the week when gun laws only apply to Hunter Biden. I mean, he still has the gun. And I love this part. New York City Police Department has now notified police in Florida and asked them to take appropriate action. Oh, please, God, let him make a run for it. I want to hear bad boys. I want him to climb over a fence. His gun falls out of his...
Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. I hope you'll join me on my new audio podcast, Justice Matters. I'll be using my 30 years as a federal prosecutor and Army JAG to unpack, break down, and explain the legal issues of the day, particularly where the legal intersects with the political. Please look for Justice Matters with Glenn Kirshner wherever you generally get your podcasts.